All right, all right, all right, all right. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Let me get a mic check, guys. Um, let's go ahead. I know I'm on YouTube today. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody can hear me. Let's see. Waiting for that to do that. Okay, that's fine. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the lobby. Welcome to the live stream. As you guys know, y'all could read. The stream is called Live Rebrand. That is right. We're rebranding it. We have a rebrand in progress. I haven't been able to really talk to you guys about it too much here on the channel because I've been away from the channel, obviously doing a whole bunch of other stuff. I've been streaming mostly on Twitch, and I've been doing a whole bunch of things on essentially Twitch mainly. It's been kind of a little bit difficult kind of posting things up over here. And obviously, yo, jabroni, what up, baby? Welcome to the lobby, welcome to the live stream. And obviously, after a while, I began to start thinking about perhaps having a rebrand done for the channel. I think it's about time that I update the thumbnails and so on and so forth. And I kind of give my channel a little bit more meaning in regards to like the name, the action, and hopefully that this sticks. So first and foremost, the first thing is looking for a name that works. For one, I already have a name. I went through various people to go ahead and kind of get this adjusted so it could work out. But my new moniker, or the new moniker that's coming, is going to be called Goat Techniques. If you've been here and over on Twitch listening to the things that I've been talking about, we have transitioned from playing your typical Dragon Ball games and things like that. And not saying that we don't play Dragon Ball games, because we still play Dragon Ball Legends, we still play some Xenoverse here and there, and all that good stuff. But we've transitioned into the actual fighting game community where we're playing more Street Fighter 6, Street Fighter, gaming, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, things like that of the sort. And being honest, the DBGTX moniker comes and stems from my fanhood of being a big fan of Dragon Ball itself. So as time's gone along, I've been thinking about how I can dig myself out of the Dragon Ball moniker so people don't think of that this is just a Dragon Ball channel. And I also realized that sometimes I just be bringing in some goat shit. So out of respect to one of the biggest Latin rappers in my childhood, Immortal Techniques, I went ahead and essentially rebranded my name sort of like that. So it'd be Goated Techniques, but that will keep obviously the GTX portion of my DBGTX moniker. So the X will be at the end, being Goat Techniques. And the DB we're just dropping because the DB itself is just, the homage that I used to pay to the Dragon Ball experience. So technically we're shortening out the name. Instead of DBGTX, it'll be GTX or GT, whichever way you want to call me. Or, techniques, whatever you want to call me. It's going to be there. And it's literally going to be across the thing, Goat Techniques. I don't want to be called Goat. That's not the point. I'm not trying to be called Goat or anything like that. It's more so that the community that we're building is going to be a community that is built upon greatness. And that's the word. That's why I have GOAT there. Greatness. Greatest of all time techniques. So as we expand, as we grow as a fighting community, and as a fighting community group, and continue, being out there as, as players, part of this community, everyone start realizing that we're the GOATs of the fighting genre. So I'm hoping that that's what sticks. I'm hoping that it expands the way I want to. I got a lot of folks that love Street Fighter. I got a lot of folks that loves Tekken. A lot of folks that love Mortal Kombat. So I'm going to start appealing to that audience a little bit more. And of course, when the rollback for Dragon Ball Fighters come, we're going to be playing Dragon Ball Fighters because it is part of the fighting game community. So, broaden our horizons, give us something new, make this channel resurge itself via the things that also interest me, but fall in line with the gaming criteria that I put out there. So that's the start, and that's where I want to kind of like start this whole stream with. What else? Of course, feedback is always welcome. If y'all think like, nah, DB, you shouldn't change your moniker, or I don't think that works. You know, we love the feedback. We always gonna love the feedback. But it's in the sense I ran it by a lot of people, and a lot of people think that it makes sense to shorten out the name, instead of so many acronyms and things like that. And it's more appealing. You know, if for example I'm in a local tournament, you know, they'd be like, hey, GOAT Techniques is getting it in versus DBGTX is getting it. It was like, it's just a mouthful. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, or they could just be like, Techniques is doing his thing, GOAT is doing, so it's GT doing his thing, whatever, you know. It's easy, rolls off. It just literally just rolls off easier, makes it that I mean, it's an easier click, I guess you could say. So we're working on that. So that's that. We also have our Kick, because that's where we're gonna be streaming at for the time. Why GOAT again? Because this community is to be the greatest of all time. We strive to be the greatest of all time as a community. We're going to be bringing the best techniques possible to the gaming and to the fighting gaming community, depending on all the games that we do. Trying our best as a community. It's not just about me, because again, it's not to feel that I'm saying I'm a GOAT or anything like that. I want this channel to be known as, this is where you see the greatest shit, like, period. So it makes it to my thing is more appealing to those fighting fans, to the people who want to see GOAT shit. It was put it like that. You want to see GOAT techniques, you want to see some really cool shit, come through that channel right there. GOAT Techniques right there. Boom, check it out. He's good. He got you with some shit. And it also shortens out the whole DB portion of it. So I could take the DB portion out of it, and then I could still have my some of my acronyms, GTX, so on and so forth. So that's where it's coming out. I mean, here's the thing. The thing is the name falls for me as well, because people already call me like GT. AOGT, AODB, AODBG, GT, GTX, or whatever. So, and a lot of my coupons, they end up taking the last portion of my name anyway. GTX 101, GTX 95, 25%, something like that. So, like, any of those coupons that I got for example, I got a 20% off Anime Plaza, but I think Anime Plaza shut down. So at this point, they don't you see what I'm saying? Like they don't, what's it called? But things like that. I also had what the fuck that shit was called? The fucking the PC mobile thing, for so you could be able to do Android games and whatnot on the PC or whatever. You see what I'm saying? The only reason why I checked that one and I looked for that one, the GOAT TX or whatever, I looked at that. It just sounds like I'm from Texas. Like the TX makes it point out to be like if I'm from Texas or some shit like that. And that's not like GOAT Texas, and I'm like, nah, that's not that. No. I'm not from Texas. So like we tried that one. That was on the table. That was on the table. Like I said, I ran through a lot of things, and it made sense because originally it was going to be GOAT Technique X, like Mega Man X, GOAT Technique X, and then I was like, nah, it's just something like it'll make sense because the thing is, the word GOAT means greatest of all time, and then that's pointing, saying that if you look at the title, you're like, the greatest of all time techniques, basically. That's what the title's supposed to stand for. The greatest of all time techniques. All the techniques, the best techniques. It's supposed to be like that. You know, you look at me, and I may not be the best. I'm shooting to be the best. I'm shooting to be a GOAT, but that's my own personal journey. When they call me, they just usually be calling me either GT or GOAT Techniques or GTX, whatever it is, but it's easier on the tongue. And that's the first part. That's the first part that we were looking at, is how can we make it easy for people to remember instead of so many acronyms or something like that. Because when I'm playing online, my whole name is DBGTX on Twitch. So it tells you where I'm at, for example, or whatever the case might be, but my shit sounds like I'm a Dragon Ball kind of guy. So for people who look at my shit, they be like, see my thing. If they turn around and want to check it out, they check it out. Be like, oh shit, he actually plays, Street Fighter or whatever the case might be. But then that doesn't translate. Yo, Claudio, what up, baby? Welcome to the lobby. Welcome to the live stream. But again, that doesn't translate to the whole factor of the rebrand in that sense. So considering those things, put it out there. If I put GOAT TX, it sounds like I'm saying GOAT Texas. If I change it completely to something new, to like, Thunder and Storm or anything like that. Like if I flip the complete name completely, then nobody knows who the fuck I am. Everybody will be like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what the fuck? So all of that. Claudio, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. So that's the reasoning where the rebranding is coming in. So keeping some of the semblance of the old channel, but putting it to a new era. So if you want, you can find me on Kick. Let me see. Let's start off there because we're going to be streaming on Kick. I'm just saying it outright. It has nothing to do with Twitch, but Twitch is like weird. Love the way you see it. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. It's a thing. Like it's about the impression with the folks. So like I don't need to be, you could call me the greatest because I'm trying to achieve greatness, right? But not because I'm myself calling myself that. For example, the other thing is it's more about the techniques and things that you will see here because you'll see me playing at a high level. I'm always going to strive to play at the highest level, whatever game that I'm playing. I'm not going to try to play a mediocre, style set. I'm not going to be, let's say, for example, just loading up, Guilty Gear Strive, for example. If I don't play Guilty Gear, I'm not going to be loading in Guilty Gear and playing like low level Guilty Gear. When Mortal Kombat 1 comes out, I'm going to be playing that shit left and right. When Tekken comes out, I'm going to do my best at playing Tekken and get really good at Tekken. So that way I could be able to, keep up because I want to see the best that's out there. The greatest of all time techniques that are out there. The GOAT techniques that are out there. And that will be posted on my channel. Fights against possibly the better Tekken players, whoever I run into. As you guys see, I have a whole series right there that's called From Iron to Diamond. We're still working our way through Platinum. I haven't posted any videos. Depression aside, the shit happens. But we are working our asses off to push this. And that's where the rebrand is coming. We're trying to push it so that way we all are part of the greatness. And that's it. The greatness is that being the greatest of all time as a community, as an individual, for you to feel like you're a GOAT just as much as me. Because as I'm getting better, I know you guys are gonna get better. Y'all don't want to be coming in here watching me raffle stomp you guys. That no shit. That is not gonna happen. I don't want to be getting my ass whooped every time that I'm playing against one of you guys. So I'm trying to get better. And that's the idea. The idea is to always get better, to achieve greatness. And I think that the rebrand will help in a way to be able to encapsulate what makes this channel much more different than a lot of other channels in that regards. Now, let me see pointers. Pointer. My shit is looking weird. Change mouse size pointer. There we go. I don't know why it does it. But anyway, look, we got enough of that talk. And what we're going to go ahead and do, let me go ahead and flip it over to the PlayStation 5. Supposedly PlayStation 5, but it's not the PlayStation 5. It's my actual capture card. I'm going to deactivate and reactivate here. Today. Okay. So I'm on my PC. Move my camera over here. And the first thing that I want to do today is continue working on, at least for a little while, because I think that this is imperative that you guys see where I'm at in regards to the things that I'm doing. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this is what I'm working with right now. This is my new, as you guys can see, my new layout work here. I'm hoping that this is the new profile picture that I could post on YouTube, of course. YouTube is not friendly trying to take like certain sizes or whatever the case might be, so I'm gonna have to resize it, and more than likely it's gonna end up being like half of this, and then the word is gonna be like here. So this is as far as I got so far. And I'm thinking the effects that I'm gonna add some obvious line movement so that way you guys can see, you know, that he's coming up. But I'm also gonna add to make this different than, of course, the Street Fighter stuff that we've had before, where it was like, you know, we got fire, now we got lightning, we got Akuma that has the dark hot, or whatever the case might be. I'm gonna add something different here, and I think that that element that I add to it is going to be interesting. I'm hoping that I can find a way to make this like essentially, I want to go with like a water element. That'd be crazy if I could make like a water fist, water element, or whatever the case might be, go here or whatever. So like this will be covered in some kind of like water key-ish, aura-ish, or whatever, and then the whole thing will come up rising with like water effects. That'd be cool. As in the background as well, be showing off. Personally, I would love if I have like the Great Tides, you know, the Japanese, the Great Tides background. I don't know if you guys seen that before, but if I add that to the background right there, that'd be great. That'd be cool. So I think that that's the starting point where I want to go ahead and kind of like look at what we got here. And I don't know. What do you guys think so far as to what I'm showing is the question. What I want to do is, since this is the base, I add another layer, and then from this layer, what I want to do, or what I do from this layer, is create shapes over the areas where I want to go ahead and give a shading. So to do that, I have to look at some of my my original content, where I got my inspiration to do my original stuff. Now, as you can see, this is the original inspiration right here. Comparison side by side. Nothing alike, as you guys can see. There's a lot of things that were adjusted, things that were updated. Obviously hand drawn. One side I drew it myself, so there's all that, you know, and I adjusted a few things to make it look realer. So not like a 3D drawing here. Adjustments on the biceps, adjustments on the, you know, triceps and things like that, you know, area, condition, the way he's punching. Including the fucking thumbs, because this was hard. Like these don't help. These don't help. So I got this done. I translated it, made it my own, as you guys can see. But now what I want to go ahead and do is take some kind of inspiration from the light design that we got going on here. So from the lighting, because I want to kind of give it the same lighting anyway in regards to that, because I have the image that I'm going to be adding in the background is going to be kind of giving off a light to the character anyway. So being that is the case, I want to make sure that the lighting still kind of reflects the same in a way based off of that, but I don't want to copy and paste the exact same, not shapes, but the way the lighting is blending there. So I look at what we got and I go ahead and I kind of just dig into the inspiration. So here's what I do. Let's push this up. And we could put on some music, right? YouTube is a little bit terrible with the whole music concept. You play music and they tend to like limit your shit or whatever. So it's very easy to go ahead and like get your shit blocked. That's why streaming on YouTube isn't ideal. Because that shit happens. Once it and like you don't get any monetization for it. So in that regard. So let's see who the hell is gonna, what the fuck? Okay. All right. So I'm ready. It's time to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. And to take inspiration from what I have, let me go ahead and pull out my trusty drawing pad. I've had this drawing pad for about 7 years already. People ask me why I haven't updated my drawing pad. There's a reason for it. You don't. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. So here I go ahead and what I want to do is kind of get the color that I got, the skin shape, right, or whatever, the skin color there. And from there I want to go ahead and kind of go into, let's say, into what area I want darkest first, and then I go and work my way out. So this is the color of the skin, and what I want to do is kind of get it to a pigmentation like somewhere like here, which will make perfect sense in that tone. And then from there, right, I'll just work the body first. Let's start off with the body. So when I go here, right, and then I paste, then what I want to do is in this layer is go ahead and kind of get some inspiration from the darkest areas here. So I'm thinking I can make a shape going from the elbow, right, like this, something from the elbow going here. So I'm not giving it too many shades of coloring. I could just go from the elbow and then come down, right, like that, kind of like on the angle, going around the angle and then coming back down, right? And then after getting around here, I could cut in and then make another shape going down here, giving some light slightly on the edges. So all of this will be completely darker around this edge, but then you'll have that one light gleam around here with the natural color, his natural color, and then the edges, and then you'll still have some edges here that'll be black, darker. Then after that, I can turn around and do a slightly lighter shade than the slightly lighter, darker than the base, but lighter than the full shade, and hit other parts to make it a tritone style picture if I really want to imitate this. But being honest, I don't really like going for the tritones because it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. So let's start off with this one. And again, let's start off with this inspiration. So let's start up here. Okay. Here we go. So we're on the layer. We're on the top layer. Let's see where our pen is at. We're going to put our pen right there. And let's see. As you guys can see, I always have to write sometimes to figure out like where the hell things are at. And so somewhere around here, right? Okay. So what I want to do is this. Check it out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this thing, right? And go right around the edge like this. See, I don't want to, I do want to cover the black because of the simple fact that later on I could use an eraser and then go over the black edge. And when I do that, it'll uncover it and then give me the layers that I need. So here's the line, which I kind of fucked up. Let me delete a little bit more. All right, so here I got his whole elbow right here, right? Or whatever the case might be with this color. And then I'm going to come down this way, right? And just right here, give that thin line, that thin layer of the original color, right? Until I get somewhere around here, right? And then this also, you have to go ahead and figure that this is a darker area anyway, right here, because this is part of the armpits. So if the light is coming off this way, this is going to be super dark in that sense. So we have to kind of like give a little bit of coloring here, kind of like that. A fade a little bit here, like this. So this will be like covered like that, for example, right? And I'll just like leave it like that, for example. And then all of this, right? All of this should be dark in that sense, like darker than usual. So what I do is I kind of like make the shapes, right? Like that or whatever, to kind of cover where, how long, you know, how much I don't want, how much shade I do want in there. And then I come back to it. And this is just markups, for example. And I'll come back to it later and like, you know, color it in. So I color this portion in here, this portion in right here, leave this light, you know, leave this the way it is, so that way it could give us that two-tone shade. So after I do that, I'm gonna go back up here because remember I told you guys I was guiding it all the way through this line right here, right? So then now I come down like this and I cut through here, right? Something like that, right? And you see how I'm literally leaving a lot of stuff alone? You want to leave a lot of the things that you're doing alone. You don't want to go ahead and go over everything, because if you do, then that's the part where you're the fucking up. So here we have pretty much a solid foundation on the coloring, right? Now, as you see, we'll have this shade here, right? This color on here, on this color. Then you'll have this on the outside, and then this color coming out again. But then around here is where you start going ahead and adding like the actual like blends, kind of like this. See, like going slightly over the vein over there, you know, going like that and making this color like that, right? And then you also have, you know, something kind of like, let's say, guiding around here like this, guiding around the muscles, you know, that kind of flow, you know, kind of like this. You close it out here, but then you turn around and you open it up again somewhere around here like that, right? So it looks stupid right now. It looks stupid. It looks like, yeah, what the fuck is he doing, right? So I take around, you know, and I go ahead and kind of like gleaming like that. But then let's say, for example, I'm thinking like maybe that is a little bit too stupid, you know, or something like that. I go ahead and I go like this. See, right around the muscle edge, like that. Up here, right? And I'll just hit it right now, just for the purpose of just hitting the colors, you know, and do that, right? And then right here, we give it the old Dragon Ball effects, right here. Watch, go super close to the muscle, right? Go all the way around here, like that. Fuck that up. Hold up. Something like that, right? And look, I'm just giving it like its own shading, right? For now, and I'm gonna continue working on it. Let's say, for example, here, as you can see, this is like super dark. So I want this half of the face, like literally, like I want like this half of the face from like here to like literally be guided by this, like. Like I want that. I want this side of the face to be guided like that, you know, like, because that's what's gonna make it count, you know. So I want that like this, like, you know, to have it shade or whatnot or whatever, and you know, kind of cover its ground. Again, I'm going over the black, but it's on a different layer. So then when I go back to it, I could just go ahead and erase the outside, and it blends in perfectly when I do the overlays. The same thing goes, you know, kind of on the under cheek here. Kind of give it another a semi-tone here because it's coming from over here, you know. Kind of something like that, you know. Here, a little gleam here, you know. And then obviously the ears, on the inside of the ears is really more priority on the inside because of the light glow and which way it's coming. So something like this one will be like that, and then the rest will be light, and then this can be simply like one little band like that, and then all of this can be hit with like one semi thing like this, right? And then this is all going to be darker. And an example, right? Okay, so I got the face marked up. Obviously still need some work here, you know. Chin, you know, lips. Obviously the lips are going to be a little bit darker. Let me color them in a little bit here, you know. The nose, you know, the bridge of the nose has its own color, you know, there or whatever. This one automatically, you know, so on and so forth. And this is what I consider like markup for it. So oh, that's perfect. Like, this is perfect. Perfect. Because this could stay the same color, you know, right here, or whatever the case might be, but I could also still give it like a semi-lucent glow like that, right? And then the muscles here, the same way, kind of, you know, something like this, because that's where the lights are coming from, you know. And then you just work it out, literally. See, there's still so much more to cover here in the sense of like the shading. So I'm just gonna kind of go like this, for example, and then give it a little sheen here, you know, like that. Obviously, you want to kind of work like anything that you think would have like a shadow coming from it. Yo, Cassie, what up, baby? Welcome to the live stream. Anything you see will have a shadow to it, like literally you would do it. So, seeing as the lighting is coming from here, this way, I want to go ahead and kind of take this, right? And go from here and like bend it like that. Kind of like showing that this is casting a shadow, you know, across itself like this. And then the back side, right here, or the front side, you got to kind of like make it happen. It's something. Let me go here. What's good, baby? Let me see, something like that. Cut in. Follow that right here. Something like that. And marking up. Okay. And another thing that you want to know is that marking up your thing doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go exactly how you're marking it up, but it gives you a good rough draft as to how you want to go about it. So so with that example being said, here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to go up here. I'll fill this in, right? I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I mean with mark it up and then go back to it and then kind of like, you know, give it the shading. So that's an enclosed space, right? I could just go ahead and just drop the bucket tool, you know, and the bucket tool starts filling up the space, you know, and then I start alternatively going between both of them back and forth, you know, between the bucket tool and the stuff. So here, as you see, I'm over here like, you know, going over the black like I told you guys. There's a reason, because if you leave it open, if you leave any color open, it'll absorb it to the other one. So take that, I drop it here. As you see, it's covering that layer. That's totally fine, because if I do something like this, you know, like a light in or overlay, as you see here, this is an example. You're seeing the overlay, how it works. You see? And then once I put the overlays and you see the colors, I could adjust the colors if I want to from that point. You know, because I can't even go from like a darken or something like that. See? And now you see the color shading line over it. So that's how you're supposed to work these kind of things. And yeah, so now that we got that established, you guys see how the overlay trajectory works. I'm gonna go ahead and color this in really quickly, you know, kind of give myself the idea that I set out. You want to go ahead and, you know, cover some grounds on that. And this is what I normally do when it comes down to studio time, you know, things like that. Let's see, this is all covered, so it's supposed to be, this is dark, this is light, and then this is dark. So what do you guys think about this? So Yeah, and if you guys ever like get into like doing projects like this or whatever the case might be, it's always good to have it like, you know, in the back of your head. Like, always good to have it in the back of your head how to like kind of process certain things, because it helps in the like, see, and that's what you don't want. So there's a, you see that gap? That's what you don't want. There's a gap somewhere, so you have to figure out where the gap is at. So what you do is you go over the colorings, right? And then you try it again, because if you do that, then you're wasting a lot of time. Now I said that I wanted this to be the way it is. Okay, this is the wrong thing. Got it. And if you guys are fucking with what I'm doing, please show some love, yo. We out here. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and color this in like that, right? And I am going to go ahead and hit this like that. Something here. Right? Because I ain't do this side. So on this side, I'm going to start something like this. And kind of like guide myself through the edge. Because the lighting is gonna like literally gleam off something else. So it's gonna be something like, because I am really looking for the light to hit this way in this direction, so I'm pushing a lot of it to not reflect like that. So what I'm gonna do, for example, let's see if this got covered in right, which didn't, of course. Then what I would do is it's kind of like, you know, fill this out like that. I think this is the only part that I missed, right? Yeah. Then fill it in. Nope. Damn it. Because I was thinking, check it out. Here's what I was thinking. What I was thinking was, right now, right? The way it's working, right now, I think that if I drop this here, it'll do that cover, right? Like that. But and then look, see, when I lay it over, it'll look like that, right? So what I was thinking was, here was hitting this body, the body right here, like kind of giving some color, like some shift here, like a shift around here, and then hitting this with a lot of darker, with the darker area, since it's in the darker area. And then keep this light and then this dark. So it'll be a slight contrast to what we got going on up here. Figured that'd be something worthwhile. And it cover a lot of the body anyway. But let's see. Let's go here. We'll do this. This shit will look fire, yo. I'm telling y'all, this is gonna look tight. I drop this. Nice. 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 Y'all see this shit? Nice. Okay. Fill this out right here. Fill this out right here. All right. Now watch. I think I already did the mold for the head. Nope, I did it. So let's get the molding for the head really quickly to finish that up. Now I drop it like that, right? Damn, son, what the fuck? Thought I had everything there already. Okay. Okay. No, 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 not today. And you got to be careful with that. Also, thing that you might want to like go ahead and like keep in check is let's see. Like I want the nose to look like this, right? With that, with a little bit of, flair here, and then a little bit of color this way, like that, you know, and around the eyes as well, kind of, you know. So all that could show, you know, the way it's showing right now, right? And then I'm gonna take this, blend it in like this, and this right here, this whole neck area. Right? And then I'm gonna take this bucket, drop it here, and here, right? Leave some colors off like that on the neck area, and then that works perfectly. Then let's say take this pen, because I really like the fact that this color right there is working with it, so I'm gonna do this. I like how this blended in well right there. Like that, right? So then I'm going to take and do, let's see how this works. Because this is the part where it gets kind of dicey. Let's see. I want this whole, so here's where it gets dicey. Why I say it gets dicey. Because I want this whole body, right, to be that color, to be the darker color. What needs to happen is the following. I need to make the trace for it anyway. You guys know what I'm saying? So the trace for it starts. Let me go ahead and like put this together. Hold up. The track for it, or the trace for it, starts like this. You have to have a fine line, like fine line to do this, right? And then this is gonna go something like this, right? Now look how I'm covering other shit now. You guys know what I'm saying? Like now I'm covering other spaces that I didn't really want to cover, but fuck it, right? Like I said, my original layout wasn't going to be the best layout anyway, but it's there as a general premise to see where you want to go. See? It's there so you can see where you want to go. Because what I want is all of this. Like, all of this to give like a little layer of the light, and then come around here like that and just curl on the shading. Like And then, see, as I'm curling, you have to figure that obviously 2 plus 2 ain't gonna equal 4 no more, the way you had it originally. So it's gonna be something like this, right? And then you're gonna have to go to the drawing to the eraser board. Let's make it a 10 here, and then kind of like see where there's like crossovers and stuff, kind of like here, right? But this is his own thing. This is his own thing, you know, and this is what I want that's colored in. So I'll go something like this, you know, delete a few things here like this, right? And I think I covered all of my premises there to be able to fill that in. So now I go ahead and cover this, right? And the reason why I went around this cut is because this is like supposed to be a stab wound or a cut wound. So they all heal through time, you know, but the scars remain. Bane. Okay. Okay. Some people are good with mice, other people are good with things. Drop it here to see like if there's anything that's missing. And that's why you always want to go 2-3 times over the line that you're looking at, so that way you know where you're at. I'm down there, so I'm gonna go and do this. See, you made me do it, Sane. And then this line, right, was the original line that I didn't want. So I'll take that off, right? Because I don't want that line. And I just do something like this. Then at that point, I can add more coloring to it, more adjustments. Let me do that. At that point, I can add more adjustments to it if I really want to. But for now, what I want is what I got. So again, I'm not trying to go tricolor, because going with tricolors, deeper, darker colors, it's a double-edged sword. So I'm sticking to what I got with a two-tone. And that'll help. Then I'm gonna take the paint bucket and I want to drop it here. Still, there's a hole somewhere. So somewhere around here there's a hole that needs to be filled. Let's continue looking. Let's continue filling in, because it's somewhere here. Ah, found it. Bingo, right here. That's where the hole was at. Okay, so I take this, drop it here, and voila. Right? Now, again, a lot of people are like, well, DB is kind of covering the your stuff. And I'm like, once I hit the overlay options, it will not. For now, you have to trust me. It's a layering process. When you're drawing these kind of art, you have to layer it the right way in order for it to look right. And this is all just premises of basic shapes and shit like that too on top of that. Basic layering and basic shapes. You would think, right? And then I want this part to be light, like this. But I want this part right here, all of this, on the inside to be darker. So, like, I want this to go like that, right? But then all of this in here is to be darker anyway. So I'll trace it up here, quote unquote trace the outline that I gave myself, right? And just aesthetically, let's see, I want the inside darker, right? So this, yeah, follow the original guideline here into the inside like this. Then take the outline that you had originally, delete it because it doesn't help. And then well, actually, none of them help, actually, so no. You're wrong. You're right. Light anglings are right. There you go. Oh yeah. Fill this out. You leaving? Where? Okay. Love you too. Yeah, I'm drawing this on a tablet. All right, let's see what we got. Ah, that's fucking beautiful. Yes, sir. Beautiful. Oops. See. What's up, Silent? How you doing, bro? Long time no see. All right, let's see. Make this show. Yeah, this one just doesn't look right. And sometimes you will fuck up. Like sometimes you just gotta find the right color tune. You see what I'm saying? You're looking for an art tablet? Yeah, no, mine is old. I just love my tablet. Like I could tell you which ones to look for, but mine is super old, like super old, so. You want to go pro with drawing? I respect that. Okay, so you don't necessarily need name brand because that's, I'm gonna be honest, that's it's there, but it's not necessarily what you need. What you need is a tablet that's responsive and a tablet that'll feel comfortable in your hand. And how big you want it is generally what pushes that concept. Also, believe it or not, you could get a cheap ass tablet and you could make amazing artwork with it because of the simple fact that the artist is what brings the thing to life. Brings the picture to life. Nothing else, nothing less. You'll figure out ways to do shit. It just makes it easier. The better the drawing tablet, for example, this is mine. Like I said, standard, Wacom, old school. And how it is, or how it works, is that if you get a tablet that's not just a drawing tablet to look at your monitor, you're gonna be what's the word? You're gonna be paying a pretty penny depending on the brand. So like the Wacom brand is known, and you'll be paying like $300-$400 for their drawing tablet and shit like that. Whereas you could go ahead and get yourself, I ain't gonna say Huawei or some shit like that because that'd be lying to you, but you could get a brand like Quizmo Gadgets XL something, and it's a generic tablet that has basically the same specs as the other drawing tablet and works the exact same way. And people would be like, no, it does. Yes, it does. And if somebody's telling you that it doesn't, they're lying to you. It works exactly the same way. Like my webcam right now, how good is my webcam quality? Tell me that. Pretty decent, right? You guys can see like literally the sweat off my face, the coloring of my face, right? Really decent, right? Decent quality, right? My webcam currently is streaming at 1220p, some shit like that. Some crazy. My webcam is higher than 1080p. It's not streaming full 4K because of the simple fact that amount of data can't be processed through a regular USB port, and that's the fuck up of these webcams, generic webcams. So I bought this one. The next one that I'm gonna buy is gonna be like $80 that has a USB 3.0, and that USB 3.0 like literally is gonna make and allow my webcam to go to full 4K, right? I just paid $80 versus $300+ for a fucking for actual camera. Everybody else is paying top price for shit like that. Not me. There for certain things I know how to go about it. The Huon Art, that's what I was saying. Like the Huon Art tablet, for example, is really good. I was actually going to upgrade, but again, this is a special gift for me. Someone gave this to me when I first got out of college, and until the wheels fall off, I'll probably be using this one. I don't know. I don't have many limitations on this besides the fact that I have to manually do a lot. And that's what has gotten better over time, that you could have like quick access buttons on your tablet. You have the full screen on your tablet, things like that of the sort. But I like drawing. I think that I'm my original context was always to draw anyway. So I'm okay with not having all the extra shit. Let's put it like that. Okay, so here's an example, right? And this is the body. So what you want to do when you're shading, this is something that if you're an artist, you got to understand how shading works. Don't be that guy. And when I say don't be that guy is if you're an artist, digital artist, you have to know how to shade. And when I say you need to know how to shade, I mean it. Like, don't be that guy that shades everything in one fucking layer. Everything that you do has to be separated in layers. If you don't separate it into layers, you're going to have yourself an insane hard time. Insane hard time. I am telling you that right now. If you are trying to become a good artist, break everything down in layers. You have my background. My background is my background, right? I have background and then a layer. Then on top of the layer, I have my base. Then on my base, I have one shade. Then on that shade, I'm gonna have another layer. That layer is gonna be the shading for the clothes, for example. You see what I'm saying? So that way, if I fuck up on something, I could just go to that area and say, okay, this is the clothes area. Let me go ahead and fix this. If I fuck up on something else, I could go ahead and do that. Oh, the base needs adjustment. I need to adjust the beard. I need to do this. I need to do that. You could go to that layer and fix it. But the moment you work everything off the same fucking layer, it's over with for you. Learn that now. If you're up and coming artist, I would highly implore you to learn that now. Do not work off the same layer when you're doing different things like this, because I did that on a lot of my other profiles, other profile stuff. No, terrible. So now look, now I drop it like this, right? And I hit the multiplication. And as you can see, there's what we got. See? Right? But look, here's a catch. The catch is there's a lot of empty space. Right? Or it looks like there's a lot of empty space. But all I have to do is just delete. Yeah, it still looks good because that's the point. The point is that I'm supposed to darken it so it could go over the scape. But now look, I do this, right? And delete all of this. This extra line that I had here, this extra dabble that I had here, going in. And my friends, shading. Shade. It's shaded. My body is shaded. You see it? Does it look natural? Ask me the question. Tell me if it looks natural or not. You let me know if it looks natural or not. Let me go get my fan though, because it's getting hot in here. I'm literally taking notes. Well, I'm happy that you like the way I'm teaching. If you like the way I'm teaching, that's legit. I appreciate that. So, where was I? Oh, that's right. So, I did the body. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and start working on the shapes of the gloves and things like that, right? Giving it the shading that I want, based off what I want. So here's the catch. I'm gonna do a little drawing session really quickly, right? And give you guys an idea, because this is how you want to always start out your projects. So when you start out your project, step one is figuring out what you want to do. This is what I wanted to do. This is the image I wanted. This is what I wanted to work with. This is where I started. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to work with. This is where I started. So I took it and I ran with it. Right. So I drew the image and I got my base. Right. So I already got my visual. I already know the direction I want to go to. It's easier with me because essentially, I have a big and hard time. What's the word? I have a hard time keeping visuals still, so I have to get images and reference a lot of images and stuff like that. So there's nothing, my posing always comes either from my own posing or from a different pose that I've seen before or some shit like that I'll take a little bit of reference from, right? And that is totally fine. It is totally fine for you to reference other people's stuff. It is not fine for you to fucking tarnish their work by you either like completely biting their work or doing things like that. A pose is one thing. Taking their shit, tracing it, changing it to say that it's yours is a whole different story. You see what I'm saying? So just get used to that, because in the digital era, there's a lot of that happens. You can draw. People will see something and you can compare it to other stuff or whatever. Mine, I was trying to take it from my, like, let's say a CAC character from Xenoverse or my CAC from Shinobi Strikers. I try to do things like that, or my own creative character from Street Fighter or something like that, because then nobody can say, yo, you got this from this, because no, I didn't. I got this from my own fucking character doing an emote or doing something like that, and I captured it. Saves you the headache of any processing like that or any issue like that going forward. So you visualize your art. The thing that you also want to visualize is your lighting, the lighting concept. When I say lighting concept, I mean where is the light coming from in your picture? Because obviously you're just drawing, but if you're just drawing and then just giving it random shades, then when a person with good eyes looks at your picture, they're trying to figure out where the fuck is the lighting source coming from. So that's very important. What I mean by that is, if you look at my picture right now, right? I'm gonna take the yellow. If you look at my picture right now, here's a concept. And this is being taught in college. This is how I was taught it, how my instructor told me. If the whites in your picture, the lighter colors are coming off this way, as you see, right? This is the direction, the general direction that that these colors are going. You see? Like that, right? Reflecting like this. All going this way. Look, and this is just a setup drawing. Look. If I point it, I can show you that everything points this way. Look. This way. 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 This way, this way, this way, this way. This way. See? All of the lighting points in that same direction, right? And as you get lower, you see it. It starts bouncing from that trajectory, all going this way. You see what I'm saying? So once you know where your lighting source is coming from, oh God, it makes shading much fucking easier. Brilliant piece of work. Brilliant piece of work. Look, 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 look. Right? So you see it. All the shading comes this way, which means that your sun or your lighting source is right here. All of this is your lighting source. Do you see what I'm saying? So based off that, that's how your shading should work. When you're doing shading, all your lighting source is coming from this area right here. Whatever it is, it's coming from this area, coming like that from this area. See? So you always want to make your make your picture and then think about, okay, where do I want, make your base, and then you say, where do I want the shadowing to come from? And then you make this shit. You do it like that. Like you make this concept. You're like, okay, this is, if I want the sun to be here, right? Then all of my shadows are going to have to be lowered. All of the lighting source is coming from the right. Yes, the lighting source is coming from the right, and and basically baking the character towards the left. So everything is pushing towards the left. So then this light source, right, as it's coming this way, I have to make shades go towards the lighting source. So right here, I'm going to be making like shades going like this way, and shades going upwards here and sideways this way, you know, and under, because the lighting source is coming from under. So that way, that's why the eye is dark back here, because it's covered under the muscle, because that light source can't hit that eye. This can't be hit back here because it's the backside of your elbow. So when you look at the light source, even when I go right here, you see it. The backside right here is darker because the light source, this is my light source right here. I have a light right over here. The light is hitting it and it's showing the shades. You got to study your own anatomy, man. That's how you do it. You put yourself in the sun and be like, all right, I see the shades here, so on and so forth. It's the same concept. If there's no light on this side of the tunnel, this whole body should be dark. But the thing is, we don't work in a two-dimensional space. Humans are not two-dimensional, and if you make your drawing in 2 dimensions, then all I would have had to do was take a line and just draw a line like this through half of the body and just shade half of the body darker and called it a day. That's not the way it works. If you want to give the image a 3D image, you have to go ahead and give it shapes, because you have different clothes, different shapes on your face, hairstyles, etc., necklace, chains, you name it. All of that takes a shape, takes a form on your body when the sun hits it, depending on the angle. And that's what you always want to represent and push when you're making your art. You want people to know, this is where my light source is at. This is where it's coming from. And my light source is a 3D angled light source. You could see me painting in 2D here and saying this way, this way, this way. But you got to understand that it's all of the backside, all of this, including my back. If I were to rotate my character, if you see the backside of my character, the backside of my character will be way more light. You will see more of this color and less of this color, because this sun right here is hitting the backside of my character through the front. And that's the concept of lighting in 3D. Making your 2D image look 3D, you have to give those shapes that makes it look like the sun is revolving around your character and not sitting on a 2D plane. That's why I say this way, this way, this way. But then you saw me do shape like this, a shape right here, a shape like this, cut it up through here. So that way, when I do this and you look at it, you're like, okay, I see a 3D aspect to it. I see that the sun is hitting him in different shades in different areas. So like the sun could be in the sunset all the way back here, all the way back there. The sun could be literally like back here in the distance, like all the way back here, right? And then it's just beaming this way like that, and it's coming from the back side into the front side. Correct. Wherever the light is hitting, that's where the shading, you have to manipulate the shade in order to be able to give it the contrast, give it that color blend. Say, okay, if this is my skin tone, and the sun is coming from the back side, right? Then the front side, a portion of my front side is going to be darker because the sun can't hit it. Think of a moon. When a moon rotates, right now, it's daytime outside for you, right? But on the other side of the world, it's dark. You know why? Because the sun can only hit 3/4 of that image at all times. That is the concept of lighting. You can only hit 3/4 of an image, 3/4 of whatever you're drawing with light, if you're trying to draw it into a 3D perspective. If you're doing it in 2D, you could just put the light on one side, the light on the other, and just draw a line through the middle and just give it 2 colors and be like, voila, there you go. But if you're giving it a 3D perspective, you have to think of 3/4. That's 3D, 3/4, 3/4, always in 3/4, always in 3/4, always. 3 out of 4 is going to be, 3 out of 4 things are going to be in the light. 3 out of 4 things are going to be in the dark. It will never be half and half. If you're doing half and half, you bugging. You doing half and half, you're drawing in 2D. If you're doing 3 out of 4, that's how it's gonna work. 3 out of 4 is gonna be in the light. 3 out of 4 is gonna be in the dark. My character, I'm going for 3 out of 4, him being in the dark. So his pants have to be darker than it is lighter. So I have to give more base, more color, more tone. Like I have to go into it and give more shapes, showing that the light is coming from the backside, hitting him from the backside into the front, to give that this looks like one steady image. His hands here, for example, right? When I go ahead and shade these hands in a minute, you're gonna see that I'm gonna go right over the knuckles. Correct. If your character's standing under the tree shades come down. So through the leaves, right? Because sunlight peeks through the leaves. When you draw in that 3D perspective, what you're gonna be drawing is hints of downwards in the downward areas in different parts. So like if a character's just standing like this, he's gonna have a light shade here, one here on the shoulder, maybe here on the body, like a bigger light shade on the body or whatever, and then more so like on the feet or whatever. But the majority of his body is going to be in the shade. You see what I'm saying? Because you're in the shade. But if you was running towards the tree and you draw him running towards the tree, then in the angle that you draw him, you could, let's say for example, you draw him in the angle that it's him running towards the tree, right? And the perspective is looking at him coming towards the tree, then you have to draw him lighter. 3/4 of him will be in the light, and then one shade, which be where the sun is beaming down, right? The sun coming down, then a portion of it, because he's covered in the sun, a portion of it will be darker, like a smaller portion of it will be darker because he's looking and running towards the tree. But if you flip that image, then what you will end up seeing is, like I said, him being under the tree. It will be totally dark. Now, there are concepts that no matter which angle you are, you're still going to just be completely covered in light because that's just the setting. But that's all your play style. That's all based off you at that point. How you want to set it up. How I want to set it up is that the majority of my character is going to be in the dark or in darker colors. I don't necessarily want him to go too dark because the image that I'm trying to add in the background, personally, I think that I'm going to add some waves and things like that in the background. So if I go too dark on the color tones, here or whatever on the contrast is going to be like too heavy. I don't know how to explain that. It's going to be too heavy on the color. So here's an example of what I'm saying. And these are adjustments that you could do later on. I don't want to do it now because I want to move forward and get more of this done. But let's turn this on and let's delete that layer because I already proved my example there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit layer 4. So check it out. So I'm happy with what I got. You know, I'm happy with the coloring that I got going on here, or whatever the case might be. But look, if you look carefully, there's some details that I lost along the way, right? You see that? Because this color tone right here is the same color tone as the outline. So I have to go back to the base and adjust the base color tones. But that's neither here nor there. See? Those are the things that you look out for when you're doing these things, and then you go back and correct them later. You don't necessarily have to do that right now. So let's go ahead and give you the concept of the hands, right? Like I was mentioning earlier. So as you can see earlier, right here, let's go back to layer 3. Let's go back to this layer because I didn't do his fingers up here, right? His fingers, right? I told you that the sun is coming from the back, right? His fingers are facing towards the sun. So if they're facing towards the sun, right? You have to go in the opposite direction, literally. You have to go like this is a little bit harder, but you basically have to go in the opposite direction of where the fingers are curling in order to reflect that's what's happening. So and sometimes it's easy by just putting, you could make it basically a simple 2D because you know that it's supposed to be in the sun. So you go like this, right? And then this one, let's say for example, I'll just hit it like once, like that, right? And here, maybe. And then after that, I go ahead and gloss over the thing that I want to do like that. So check it out. Right? And here's in a concept of drawing, understand this. Corrections. Doing corrections on the fly is the worst shit that you can do. Don't ever do corrections on the fly. What does that mean? You see how I'm missing gaps here or whatever the case might be? Like, oh, you missed a little portion or whatever. Like when you look deep inside or whatever, or like you look really closely, you see like I'm missing shit or whatever. You don't want to go ahead and do those corrections till later. And I mean that. Like when I say that, I mean it. Like don't do it till later because of the simple fact that you waste a lot of time. Corrections take a lot of time to do. That is why artists dread correcting their artwork after it's done. Now, if you see, I put it in the shadow with the lights coming through because I said that the light was coming this way. Now look how his fingers look, right? Still bloodied, still, you know, but in the dark because the light is coming and is hitting his knuckles, you know, hitting the outside of the knuckles and things like that, right? Scroll down the same way here and I go into here and then the same shit over here. So instead of, you know, doing too much, I just go into the under. Exactly. This one, for example, this one will be shade at the bottom, like all through the bottom. So I will run all the shade through here because the lighting source is coming through the front. You see what I'm saying? So like the lighting source will be like that. I will run the shading all through here. Like that. And you can add hints of like different colors, obviously, you know, wherever you want to go, kind of like that or whatever the case might be. But something like that. So now when I expand, see, his fingers are still in the light. And then this one, yeah, shaded at the top. As you can see, like you said, this one will be shaded at the top and light at the bottom because of the way it's facing. Because the other thing is curled in, so everything is completely dark except for the lighting hitting right here, as you can see there. See? You got it. You got it. Attaboy. That's what I'm talking about. All right, now I'll finish with the body. I'm gonna go over to this layer, and also keep in mind, never, ever, 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 ever put your body shapes over your when I say your body, never put your accessory shaping and shadings over your body shadings. You always want to keep your body shadings at the top. Always. So this is my body shading. I want to keep this at the top. You know why? If I lose this in the scramble, bigger projects gonna have you have 15, 20 layers easy. Especially if you're doing gaming concepts, because I went to school for video game design and 3D engineering. This is part of it. So everything I'm teaching you is what I was taught. I'm literally teaching you how my instructor was teaching me, but my instructor was boring. So if you're having fun learning from me, I'm doing a great job. Because one of my instructor who was teaching me these concepts was boring as shit. And and Derek, I know you hated me because I told you in your face that your class was boring as shit. But you know what? I love you either way, because you showed me a lot of shit that I really, really, really use today. So then here, right? Here we have this. Here we have his sash. Now we're working with the color concepts again. So what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and go dark. I'm just gonna go dark, right? Like this, right? Because it's, how do I explain this one? It's a material. Materials, you want the shade for it to be a contrast. Material shades need that contrasting, but body shades don't need that heavy of a contrast. You understand what I'm getting at? So when you do it and you layer it, watch. So right now we worked with the lighting. Like I said, that the lighting was coming from where it was coming from, this side, right? Yeah, I went to school for 3D video game engineering. So the lighting coming this way, I'm gonna go ahead and like hit this with basically something like this, and I'm gonna guide it like that. That's it. Look, I went backwards on it because what I want is actually backwards. I want the majority of it to be dark. So I want to go backwards on this. Sometimes when I want to work with dark colors, you have to go and incorporate the thing backwards. So what I'm going to do is this, right? I'm going to run this like here. Fuck, man. I'm going to run this shit. Right? And I'm gonna run it all the way through here like this. Right? And then look, this is the coolest shit ever. When you just have to just guide it right around the line like that. It says this is closer. You just guide. Right? A hint of light. Guide it. See, I'm guiding it just because I want it like that, right? I want this whole thing, I want it green. That dark green. Because it's going to be like, oh, well, that was the big... No. The shading is what's going to do it. The shading is going to do it. The shading is what's going to make it look crisp. Because this side, around here, you can make like some shapes, but majority of this is going to be covered in darkness. Nice. Right? Now look, I made this whole thing, right? This whole thing is completely one thing, right? I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna drop it. Let me run that back because obviously it didn't want to be my friend, but here we go. Let's run this line, right, to make sure that it's all connected. Right? You run the line, make sure it's all connected. All connected. Make sure that it's all connected. Go like that. You just, sometimes you gotta fuck it up. Make some lines a little bit darker so it knows where to go. Right? Right? And I see that it's not connected up here, so just to make it sure, right? Then I'm gonna go ahead and then just drop it like that, right? And it was like a fucking blotch. It's like, oh shit, it's like a fucking blotch, right? Coolio, daddy-o. I multiply it, right? You can multiply, you can just darken. Darken is where I want to hit it, right? But as you can see, when you do that, you look at it, you're like, all right, cool. Well, that looks a little too dark, right? Right? You're like, yo, shit, DB, that's a little, that might look a little too dark. I get what you're saying with the whole, it has to, like, so, like, what do you do with that? Oh, easy, dog. Look, you go here to the opacity, right? If you took a color that's too dark, you go to the opacity, and you let the opacity blender do its thing. There you go. Boom. Picture perfect. Right? So now, I'm going to move on to fucking purple. Right? Now I'm going to move on to my purple. So I want something like this. Right? A darker purple. Alright, so the first one I'm going to work with is obviously going to be the fist up here. So in the same concept of what we showed earlier, what we have to go ahead and get into the adjustment is, and look, I'm doing it in the same layer because this is all part of the body. You understand what I'm saying? But generally, if at that point, if you really want to go ahead and do it right, I would divide it. I would go ahead and hit layer 5, and then I will call this the belt. I will call this the hands. I will call this the body. I will call this the layer, the base layer. You see what I'm saying? And everything will be in its own thing, so that way you know where to go to. So here, for example, like this is one of the easier ones to color because obviously it's supposed to be in the dark. So like up at this point, up here, the fist and all that, all of this is going to be like literally like majority dark. You understand what I'm saying? Kind of like at this concept like that, right? And you still have some stuff that where this is darker, for example, right? Because this should be just completely dark. And then you have like a gleam, a hint, a shadow right here. Like a little hint of shadow up here like that. Right? Because as we know, the lighting is coming from this direction, right? So then from this point forward, we just look at the things that we need to keep in the light, right? And that's not too much. That's not too many things. So we go like this. We go over here, you know, kind of crawl like this, right? And you see this shape right here. You want to go ahead and like give it its own little thing like this, right? So it could stay, you know, light and steady or whatever the case might be. Oh yeah, I mean, if I'm not one to, what's it called? I can't criticize other people's work because I could tell you I like to teach and I like to talk, but I still consider my art pretty trash. Like, if you really fuck with my art, I appreciate that, guys. Like, for real, if y'all fuck with my art, I appreciate that shit. But always make sure to close your gaps. I appreciate that. See, here's the thing, and I say this to everybody. If you do art, right? I don't have a thing where I say one art is worse than the other, because art is subjective to the person. What you may consider trash to you, to another person could be the greatest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know how to go about this one. Fuck. Okay, I fucked that one up. Hold up. Yeah, so I personally, I always say, yeah, I see my art and I see everybody else's art, like a whole bunch of people that be drawing and shit, and I'd be like, yo, this shit cold as ice, cold as fuck, right? I'd be looking at my art, I'm like, yeah, I can never reach that level. And then I get people who be like, dog, your art is sick. And I'm like, there's so many folks that could draw Dragon Ball Z art style, but I'm like, but to me, it's a real praise of the eyes of the beholder. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when people tell me, yo, your art is fucking sick, bro, I like your shit, I'm like, oh man, thank you, dog. Like, for real. So here we have these parts get a little bit hard. So you see how I got the shading going on, right? I have to go ahead and kind of hit this shade at an angle that reflects this. So it's kind of like something like this, and then it coming over here like that. Let's see if my theory's correct. Let me see if my theory's correct. As you see, there's some already lighting going on up, some weird lighting going on up here. So I'm gonna leave it there because, like Bob Ross says, there's no such thing as a mistake. There's just such things as happy accidents, and that's my motto when I do certain things. So these those light colors that is showing there, those are happy accidents in true fashion. Happy accidents. And then I go ahead and I fill this up like that. Right? Take this and I drop it. Haha! It did not work. Okay, let's try it again. So we have a hole somewhere. We have a leak, people. We have a leak. All right, let's try it again. There we go. See? I'll go back over here. Now I work the other shading now. See, and some of these are easier to work with color blend wise because because it's just simply like it's supposed to be in the shade, so you don't have to really do too much. So kind of like this, for example, I could just go like that and just literally just hover a little bit, kind of like that, you know. Like that, and then give it just a little smidgen of shade up here because there's nothing much that you could do, kind of like just a smidge, you know. And then all of this, forget about it. Something like that. Right, all of this connected. Let's double check. You go over your line, you know, shading line, so on and so forth. Make sure everything is connected, right? And then take this, you drop it, and it's not connected. See? Now you ask, where's the fault? And the fault generally lies somewhere in the ballpark of here, and then right around this part. So go back to my pencil. And let's see, we're gonna go here like that, right? And then now when I drop it, it leaves the gloves like that, right? And this is just the gloves, right? So, you know, you can do an overlay, and as you see, I gave it the overlay look, and the overlay looks way better than the darken does. So I'm gonna keep it like that because I like that. I like that bright contrast that it has going on here with the gloves. As you see, I like that. I fucks with it. All right, so here's the considerations of stuff. First and foremost, this is in the dark, so we are going to essentially kind of do something like this. Here, right? Man, I'm going backwards on this shit. Hold up. So I want all of this to be in darkness. I guess I'll go around this because obviously we don't need that shit to be. right? And kind of giving the hint, you know, all the stuff. You don't have to necessarily hit every single one of these like bangs on it, but I like to hit a few of them to show that there's creasing in the pants or whatever the case might be. Kind of give that old joyous line back there, you know, because you did it. Lighting does come at all circles, so you don't have to necessarily like stick to it being like one way or another or whatever, but right. And then because everything else is kind of there, you can kind of like navigate this a little bit, you know, just a Chad, you know, just a Chad. Go up here, you know, kind of give these, you know, feedbacks here with the lighting a little bit here, you know. Come up here because obviously the pants continue going down there a little bit further, you know, things like that. This, you know, this is weird because the way it's coming off of here, you will say you would need something kind of like this that crosses in here and then kind of like does something like this. Right? Something like that, right? And then kind of make its own little thing here. And then pretty much everything else at this side is like dark, you know? Because this is the inside, so you want all of this to be as dark as you can. If everything went the way I wanted it to, it's not going to turn everything blue. But it did. See? Now, I have a problem. Y'all want to know what the problem is? If you know carefully, if you was watching carefully, I said it earlier. The biggest problem that you could face right now is working on the same fucking layer for everything, and I just did that. So the layer that I'm working on right now, right, was making everything else turn blue. And this layer, is the body glove layer. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say it a lot. Don't work on the same layer, because then you get something like that happening where the entire layer was changing colors and you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Now you got to go all the way from scratch from where you was at or what you was doing because you fucked up, right? So create another layer. And how about you save your project? Always save your project. Never, ever, ever, ever continue working on your shit without saving your project. Let me take a shot really quickly. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so let's start marking up on this layer. We should start naming these layers, you know. Pants. Sash. Gloves. Body shadow. Right? All named. Body shadow, gloves, sash, pants, layer 2. Call this the base. Right? So now, base, pants, sash, gloves, body. Right? If I go ahead and I move this, look. If I move this, it should only move that top layer, see? It shouldn't move anything else. And that's the point and it's a good point to do it like that. So we got the glove, the sash, and we haven't gotten the pants done. So now, obviously, that's what we're going to color in right now. Let's do this shit again. I kind of already have a brief image of how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and do this fast. Let's see. I'm going to do this. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. I see. Coño, cretino. Agarrate y jodiste esta vaina, loco. A volverlo a hacer de nuevo. All because you decided to fucking be stupid. And forget. Forgot to fucking make my layer. Here I am shading it all over again. Now, the reason why I say this is easier for me to do is because I'm like literally kind of used to doing this kind of shading. So for me, it's just like running the pen over the area and then just working on it. And there's a few easy jump loop shortcuts that I could show you guys. For example, right now, see everything that's highlighted is like this all the way through here, you know, all this, so on and so forth, you know, getting all this in right here, you know, etc. Getting all that, you know, making some marks here, kind of like this, you know, you just make like a little bit of a squiggly line like that, so that way, it could keep that space open, and you can brighten it up a little bit more, you know, little touches here, a little touch here, like that, you know, make sure that it's completely closed. And again, like another one like right up here kind of thing, like that, you know. So then I go around, right, all around, and essentially now I know like where I kind of am at right now. So I do all this, you know, I want all this in the same color anyway, so I go like that, and then, you know, a little bit of hint here, you know, kind of go up here, Again, do the same thing I did earlier, you know, kind of give myself that outlier right there, you know, and then a little bit further there like that. And then I think I'm going to leave the rest in the dark, except for the butt outline, of course, because, you know, butt outlines have to stand out, you know, like that. All right. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and hit it like this. Right? And I think, my friends, we are about to achieve greatness. Watch. Ah, it's not closed here. I see it. Okay. 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 Look around, look around, look around. Somebody sent me a message. Not important to me. One, two. This line right here, making sure that it's connecting. And I said, that's why I said you could do this shit fast if you want to. Just know sometimes there's a fuck up. See? Somewhere along the line, there's somewhere that you could like fuck up. So, and if you get good, there are commands that allow you to like just highlight the outlines and then drop the thing the way you want to. But DB ain't that good at shit. So, yeah. Yeah. I think that did it. I think they done did it. There we go. Nope. Okay. Continue this way. All right, let's see again. Oh my God. Okay. It's not liking me right now. Hold up. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead here. I think I got it. I think. Good. See? See, I'm working on the same thing, and I shouldn't be. So go back, and then you go back to body shading, and then in the body shade you go ahead and you drop the color that you want right here, because you fuck around and you change something else that you don't want to. Right? Right? That looks good. right? Now, check it. If I do color burn, look at this. Like, I can literally alter my stuff the way I want to and make it look like however I want. See? But darken is the best one, right? And then now that it's shaded, now that I got it shaded, now I can go ahead and adjust whatever I want to adjust. So here's an example, right? I'm gonna go here and let's say I don't like this color, which I actually do. So I don't see any issues with it. I could go ahead and make like the let's say this shade of brown, right? Be, let's say this shade. And I could turn around and go to the body shape, right? Drop it here and see how it looks, right? In comparison. And I think it looks better. You see how it looks better with the darker shading? So you go for it, you know? Things like that. You be like, all right, cool, looks better with the darker shading. You hit it with the darker shading then. And the darker shading makes it stand out more, you know? On the two-tone thing. See? On a two-tone note, the darker shading looks better. Especially with the darker eye over here. Right here. So like, if I really want to, that should be like darker because it's like hiding anyway. So it'd be like that. Something like that. For example. See? And there. Shaded. Woo. That took a lot. All right. So now that I got that, now I want to work on effects. How long have I been streaming? Oh shit, I've been doing this for 2 hours? Holy shit. Should I leave it there and start playing something else? I should start playing something else, right? All right. So here's the thing. The thing is, I like to look for my water effects, right? So I go to pngegg.com or whatever, and I put aqua, right? And see what they give me with that, right? I don't like none of that, so I go to water effect. Now you're seeing different effects. Now look at this. I wanted a fucking dragon, and here I have a dragon. It just ironically, there's a dragon, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and download the PNG, right? I'm a human, then I'm gonna go to 26M7, right? It's gonna start downloading, right? And I'm gonna go to my stuff and watch. So this, ideally, you want to kind of like navigate how you do these kind of things, adding certain things, because it may not look good if you don't add it correctly. Now, watch what I'm going to do. Watch what I'm going to do. Right? Now, I'm going to take this PNG, right? And I'm going to duplicate it. Check it out. Right? And by duplicating it, then I'm going to flip it. right? And all I want, to be honest, from it is the head. Something like that, right? But then now everything else is looking kind of weird, right? So I'm going to go ahead and download this one because this definitely aligns with the other one, right? And I'm going to drop it here. I'm just going to push it to the side for now, right? And I'm going to go back to the PNG that I just created, which was this one, right? And let me line it up correctly, right? So here's what I want. What I want is effects. I'm going to add this layer over it, right? And then I'm going to take the eraser, right, on both layers. I'm going to take the eraser on both layers, right? And I'm going to increase the eraser a little bit. I don't know if you guys are watching this part, but here we go. And let's say I'm on the top layer, right? I want to delete this portion. So I'm going to go ahead and start on that. Let's see here. What the fuck? What the fuck is this then? Ah! Okay. I see. Let me go back to this and this. Okay. So this needs to go. Okay. Now reduce the eraser, make the heads become one, right? And then take these both and oh shit. Come on. Take both of them, right? Control Alt delete them and expand it, right? Right? And then like you could literally like move one over a little bit, you know, and make this one, let's say, a little bit bigger or something like that because you want it to come out like that, you know. Right? And then this one over here is like oddly shaped or whatever. Keep it here, right? Right? And then this one, which should be under both of them, then you just link it. There's like a link. So what you do is you make it, right, that it works with it, and then it flows into it. So by doing that is something like here, right? And then I take the visual effects from here, right? And let's say I'm gonna delete this. And let me go up here really quickly to clean up like the back area back here because there's a lot of twisting and turning here, right? So I don't know why this has two of them, but I'm deleting that. Okay. So then this base layer, here's the catch that you want to always work with. If there is this, right, you try to make sure that like, you try to see if it blends in. See? Right? Because it could blend in easier than you trying to manipulate too much of it. Right? And then you turn around and you take the base, and what I'll do with the base is like I'll multiply this, I'll duplicate this so it could move around a little bit, right? Like that, and it could be as thick as a dragon, right? Now in that layer, I could turn around and delete the inner side of it, so that way it could be one big splash. See? Like that. Right? One big splash. Now, I also want to go ahead and duplicate the layer one more time and then move it over here, right? Transform it a little bit because I wanted to go ahead and envelop my body, or envelop the body of the guy, right? Like this. Right? And what I want is, I want to go to the top layer, the top layers, and try to reduce this, like the coloring that completely could affect the outlier of the shit. So I want it to look like it's coming out like that, but I don't want it to completely like drain my picture. So I need to figure out which one is this. Cause like this one is fine, right? But then you need to figure out like which is the one that's working on the inner side, like that. You see what I'm saying? To figure out what's what. And I believe it's this one. Let's move it. How about this? Nope. Nope. That one. This is the one that has to get like fixed. Kind of like that, see? Now it's flowing, right? And the two dragon heads, for example, we got to figure out how to like make them work. Okay? This isn't working, so I'm going to make them bigger. Like that. So it could come off the screen. And it looks like it's more like a phantasm than anything else. Right? And then by that, I could literally like go ahead and do things like this. But then here I could go ahead and hit like the color burns or the multiply, and it starts like adjusting with my colors. If it makes sense. And you could like literally take all three and just hit the opacity. So it's not like completely killing your shit. Because that's not what you want. You don't want it to like completely take over your stuff. Like you don't want it to completely take over. So like you got it like that, right? And you can like literally like hit these like that, look. Something like that, right? And then what you do is you start doing things like you go back to the base, right? And then you take, let's say for example, take back the same one that I used earlier, right? But now I'm trying to hit the other side of things, right? And this is above the base. So what I want to do is I want to put it like this, right? Drop it here and then roll it behind. You see? So it's like rolled behind. So as you can see, it goes behind And then the same thing could happen like with, I think this dragon head right here. No, that dragon head is fine. We could take the second dragon head, this one, right? And like literally move it all the way behind the base. And you can see it, that it's now coming in full circle. You see it? You guys see what I'm saying? So now like I can go back over here, right? Hit these. And then brighten it up like that. And it makes sense. You see what I'm getting at? Now I can even like take a third one, right? Drop it here in the front. And these will be like smaller ones that come out like from my image. Right? Take that, duplicate it, right? Transform it, flip it, you know, revert it or whatever. Right? Then take both of them and hit a multiply on it. And hit like a overlay or something. And you work on it. That's all it is. You like gotta work on it to see like what works or what doesn't work. So like hard light wouldn't be it. Screening wouldn't be it. You know, overlay will be a little bit like bland, right? And I don't, and we don't want bland. So I go, let's say with soft light, right? Or even better, just keep it normal, right? And then when you keep it normal, all you have to do is hit the thing, right? And then you take both of them, because the problem is that they're completely together, right? You take both of them like that, and you do that, right? But now let's address the head of the dragon. This dragon head back here, right? It's back there. I want to make it show like that, right? But then this one I also want to make it show. The problem is that this one is in the front. So you work your magic by doing this. Check it out. What you do is I make a duplicate layer, right? And then the bottom layer, the top layer, right? I go ahead, put it black. The top layer right here, I go ahead and off the top layer, I delete this, the inside portion of it, right? While leaving the top right here fully intact, and then putting it at full saturation, right? While the bottom layer, then I just completely take off the top, right? Completely keep the top there, right? And then go back up here and then just leave this one streaming like that. And the bottom one gets it removed. So you'll see better what's happening here overall. And that's the goal. The goal is like you'll see better what's going on here. This is essentially, as you can see, I have a lot of circling going on there. Now, there's like a few touches that I would like to add. Like, let's say I want to move this a little bit further in, like that, you know. But then I also don't want it to be all the way up there because I want to see the face of the dragon. So I kind of have to shrink it a little bit like this and then go like that, right? And there we got something cooking. We got something cooking there, right? We got something cooking there, right? But let's say if I want to just hard light it, right? Because I like the hard light. I like the hard light. I could just kind of like reduce it a little bit and then go in here and voila. Then go over here and that's okay the way it's looking. And this is my shit so far. So far, right? Now that I got that, I want to go ahead and like look up for something else. Let's say great waves, right? Plenty of them. Like, I already know what I want to go with. Like, I could do that. I could do something like this. Right? And then I could just drop it. As you can see, we got a lot to work with here. I like that. There's a few things that I need to get right. Where are you? Ah, these two. That's why. That's better. Yeah, that's looking better. Okay. Let's see now. Okay, now that I got that, there's just a few things, like there's a few additives that you want to add to it, kind of. But let's see. Nope. 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 I think this will work. Or this one. What did I think? Whew. It's looking nice, ain't it? I don't know. The background is like a placeholder. I just think the background is like a placeholder. I don't know. Okay, so something. I don't know. I don't know what to put in the background now. It looks nice so far. I like this though. Okay. What y'all think? Yeah? Let's see. Let me save it. I think that's a good start, right? A good place to be at right now. Leave it there so we can play some video games. Working on this rebrand, guys. Working on the rebrand, guys. Working on the rebrand. Working on the rebrand. All right, give me a second. Let me see. Hold up. Ooh, Nelly. Okay. I think I got that part done. Bro. Bro. Yerrrrrrr. What up? All right. So, my friends, am going to take a quick 15. Let me stop the music really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick 15. I'm going to update a few things here on the channel edit because we're about to go ahead and jump into some Street Fighter. Let's see. Let's scroll all the way down. Of course, none of my tags are here, so what tweet was added to my bookmark? This? Yep. Anyway. Let's see. Street Fighter 6. All right, cool. So let me put that there. Put here. That. So, you know. Yeah, man. That was nice. We did a little bit of everything. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. Let me go ahead and take let me take a break. Let me go ahead and walk my doggo and come back. I'll be back at about 2:45 in 30 minutes. And when I come back and hit the live, there's going to be a new title. There's going to be some Street Fighter and some Final Fantasy 16. I've been playing Final Fantasy 16 on stream on Twitch, and I'm thinking that I could do some Final Fantasy 16 here. I'm not going to save the VOD, so if you didn't watch it, you didn't catch it, I'm deleting it, so that way I only have one copy, and that is the one that I'm going to be uploading to the channel when I start my Final Fantasy 16 journey. So holla at me, and I will catch you guys in 30 minutes with a new video feed, okay? Thank y'all for watching me break down my whole Street Fighter concept, my whole profile picture thing, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. Love y'all. Be back.